Okay, folks, I am back in a brand new studio. We're done with that old one where I sweated a ton. It was super duper hot all the time. Anyway, why are we here? What is the point? Is that you're clicking this video because for some reason you're interested in Lubbock, Texas. That's right, folks, the Lubbock, Texas. So what we are talking about today is that Lubbock is exploding, not literally, but with the explosion of growth, there are a lot of new developments in the city that we are seeing that are pretty much snowball. So today we are going to be talking about some of Lubbock's newest, hottest developments. But first of all, my name is Andrew Baxter. I am a local real estate agent in the greater Lubbock area. If you have any questions about moving here, shoot me an email, give me a text. I'm working on setting some other structural things up so it'll be easier for you to contact me with questions. So back in the day, my dad actually graduated from Texas Tech in 1975, I think. He's kind of an older gentleman. Love him to death, though. He's awesome. There was this old kind of figure of speech kind of phrase thing that people, I guess, used to say, which, you know, there was just nothing to do in Lubbock except sit on your porch and watch the cotton grow. That's changed. Thank goodness, because while there's still cotton, there's a lot of stuff to do. And things really are changing so rapidly that I would imagine the city's probably unrecognizable than how it was decades ago in the 70s. Crazy. So let's just jump right into number one, which is the biggest development that Lubbock is seeing and will see for the next decade, 2 decades, is Loop 88. Yes, if you look at a map of Lubbock, we have the loop, which kind of goes in a, you guessed it, loop around the city. It's going to go east of 87, which is the highway that kind of runs right down the middle of Lubbock, all the way out to almost Slayton, cut through South Lubbock, go all the way west over to Ropesville, and then loop all the way north over to Shallow Water. And I can't tell you guys how big of a project this is. If you go anywhere south of town, and I mean like 114th, that area, on any of the major streets, you are going to see construction for this behemoth that they are building. It's crazy. There's traffic everywhere in this area. Now, it's still really great because they've got lanes and whatnot, and they're doing, you know, the construction guys, I don't know why it went like that, but the construction guys, they've got it figured out. But by and large, this is going to be a 12.5-mile long highway, another loop, and it is going to make travel much more efficient in Lubbock. Not that it's not efficient already, it is, but man, it is only going to serve the growing stuff that we're seeing in the further expansion south and southwest that everyone is excited about in Lubbock. And this is also breaking news, and this leads into number 2, that on November 6th of 2024, Lubbock voters approved a $103 million road bond package. Now, I know what you're thinking, Andrew, what's a road bond package? I don't freaking know. I know James Bond, and I know he's got a package, if you know what I'm saying. So apparently this road bond is going to change a lot of the streets, the way the structure of them is, adding lanes, adding all sorts of stuff and changing stuff. There's a lot of brick in downtown Lubbock and the roads on Broadway, which is a main street where you'll find all the bars, the college bars close to the university, and just all throughout downtown the road is brick. I believe this bond is going to change a lot of that and put regular asphalt road in. So that is going to be a big change. We've already started this video talking a lot about infrastructure, and gosh darn it, that's a good thing well, I don't really know about the bond thing. I know that people in Lubbock were on both sides and really kind of griping about it on Facebook, as people typically do. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but our roads seem to be looking like they're getting a lot of love from folks. And I can tell you right now, the loop is going to be a massive development and just explode growth even more than we've seen. I'm not taking a political side on the road bond thing. I don't know the politics of it. I know that there is, but anyway, I digress. Let's move on to number 3. So number 3, we were just talking about downtown with the roads and the bond and all that jazz. Now that road's going to be going elsewhere. But number 3, let's talk about the gentrification of the downtown district. There is a lot of stuff that's gone on in downtown in the last 5 years, and there's a lot more stuff that is continuing to go on. Stuff that makes it look unrecognizable. For example, for the last decade since I've been in Lubbock, they have made a new city hall, made a new police department, made a bunch of new government buildings in downtown, added a massive hotel, cleaned up some restaurants, just general added restaurants. There's just been a lot of hands in downtown, and apparently there's going to be a lot more. There are plans and developments to build a brand new park, a massive park in the middle of downtown. It's supposed to be kind of futuristic and really cool and whatnot. Not sure how that works, but I've seen the concept images of it when I'm walking by downtown, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, there's a bunch of like robot looking people on the picture, but I mean, it actually looks pretty cool. And then this happened this summer. There's actually a building in downtown called the Jim Kimmel Center. And not Jimmy Kimmel, not that late night show propagandist guy, but the Jim Kimmel, there was another Jim Kimmel, believe it or not, and he had a building in Lubbock, and it was named the Jim Kimmel Center. I guess it was a hotel or something. It's been like condemned and boarded up for years and years and years since I've seen it. And apparently it was bought, and they're going to redo it. And so it's stuff like that that's just fresh and exciting. And not to mention, we've got the Buddy Holly Center that's there that we've talked about at length, where you can go see shows. And I actually just saw Foreigner with some clients there. It was freaking awesome. They rocked rocked my socks off, actually. I didn't rock their socks off. But it was amazing. They go see the orchestra, go see whoever you want. But lots of stuff cooking downtown. That's something we want to keep an eye on as developments continue to grow and we get more and more excited about Lubbock. Okay, so let's hop into number 4. If this does not show the city's growing, I don't really know what does. Let's talk about a brand new high school in Lubbock Cooper ISD, Liberty High School. So, high schools, kids go to them, teenagers, sign of growth. If you're building new ones, guess what? Your town's probably growing. It was actually the first high school to be built in Lubbock County in 50 years. So if that does not show you that Lubbock County is growing, I don't know what does. This high school just opened up last year, only started with freshmen and sophomores, but as it's growing is adding juniors and seniors, and then of course the thing's just gonna keep going and freshmen will, turn into seniors eventually. So that's just indicative of a lot of growth that we're seeing, and a lot of people that I talk to on the phone, just like you, sitting on your couch watching this, eating your Trader Joe's chips, or HEB chips or whatever. A lot of people call me and they say, I've heard Lubbock Cooper. It's a great place to be. I've heard a lot of good things about it. There are. Friendship ISD is another really good school district that a lot of people want to be in. That's more west of southwest, doing a little of this action right there. But also Lubbock ISD. Also just everywhere in Lubbock is, pretty great. You can find a lot of great places everywhere. I digress. On to the next point. Okay, let's talk about number 5. Of course, I'm a real estate agent. I gotta say it. I gotta plug it. I gotta do it. I be selling it. Houses, developments, neighborhoods, everything that's crazy about what's growing is going to be the residential expansion that we've seen. And one of the reasons for that is because a lot of people in Lubbock had farms. They had cotton farms for a really long time. They got tired of them. And apparently there's a lot of talk and hubbub about how the cotton industry and whatever else has grown, the Milo and all that jazz, sorghum and stuff, is just not as sustainable as it once was, and people don't really like doing it. So a lot of those farmers are cashing out on their land, selling to developers. More people are moving to Lubbock because it's affordable. More houses are being built. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. You see where I'm going with this. There are tons of new housing developments. Big, big, big housing developments. And it's really exciting and it's cool because these housing developments add so much to the general area that they're in. They add a lot to the infrastructure. After the housing developments go off, you see restaurants, you see Chick-fil-A's. I know those are restaurants. You see smoothies, you see tanning salons, you see gyms, you see all sorts of fun stuff. The people bring the business. That's how it goes. And Lubbock is showing a lot of that, and the growth that we're seeing has just been quite frankly, fantastic. So the housing stuff, really cool. And if you're thinking about buying a house in Lubbock, once again, please don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me an email, do whatever you gotta do. I will help you get sorted and we will figure something out for you. Okay, number 6, let's talk about just general developments that we've seen, that I've seen personally, that I can just kind of spit fire off. One is Covenant Hospital, which is on 19th between Indiana and Quaker. They have built a brand new wing of the hospital. It's taken about 2.5, maybe 3 years. It is massive and really, really cool. It looks very futuristic, kind of like a spaceship or something. That's really cool. Also, UMC, the other hospital that's just kind of a stone's throw down the road, is also building new buildings. They've got cranes over there all the time. They're expanding, they're growing. Remember, our hospital system is the biggest one within a 200-mile radius, so you'd think that we got a lot of importance and stress about making the hospitals great, as they should be. And a lot of people will say, well, I'd rather go to UMC or I'd rather go to Covenant. Yeah, I'm not really, I've been to both for multiple reasons. prosper a couple times, not all having to do with me, sometimes having to do with me. But yeah, I would say it's just great. It's really cool to see hospitals grow and develop and look new and look cool. Another big development that I've seen that I think is really awesome is the South Plains Mall expansion. You know, malls are kind of like a dying pastime, but for some reason, Lubbock is just injecting life juice into our mall and just like keeping it alive, doing CPR constantly on it, which I think is really actually kind of cool because it's a timeless deal. We're adding, we had a Dillard's and we tore that one down and moved it on the other side of the mall. I'm not exactly sure why, but there's a brand new Dillard's now, which is pretty cool. People always got to go to Dillard's. So yeah, just general stuff like that I think is really quite nifty. Okay, so now on to number 7 is the job development, the factories that are being built, the warehouses that are being built, the facilities that are being built. Let's talk about the Luprino Foods. I don't know what you'd call it, a factory, I guess, where they process essentially dairy and turn it into powder and cheeses and mass produce it. And hey, they picked Lubbock, which I think is really cool, and it's brought a lot of jobs. It's bringing a lot of jobs, and I think you're going to just see that's going to very positively affect the city. We've seen a lot of big developments, like Amazon built a giant warehouse in Lubbock. We've kind of got that business row, which is a little bit northeast, where you've got the Amazon warehouse and quite a few other warehouses over there. In general, Lubbock's a great place for business, and I think that's why so many people are moving to Lubbock and interested in this great city that we live in. So if you have any questions about living, breathing, walking, talking, shopping, doing whatever you got to do in the greater Lubbock area, you give me a call, you shoot me an email. It's all right down there, folks. But anyway, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this video and for putting up with me. I will see you on the next one.